What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Celebrate Herself podcast. Don't forget to take a screenshot of you listening or take a pic. I love seeing when y'all like watch me on your TV because I'm like, I be doing that. Like, y'all can post it, tag me on IG, Twitter, whatever, so I can repost, retweet. Y'all, as of today, Tuesday, the day I'm recording this, they just came out with Twitter stories. Why would they choose to name it Fleets? I don't think they consoled with the community. But I kind of like it, I guess. I think right now it's just interesting because I feel like the people I follow on Instagram and the people I follow on Twitter, it's like very different. Like IG to me is a lot more superficial, which obviously, but in the sense of like if I'm out, you know, back in the day, if I'm out, I'm not gonna give someone my Twitter. Like I'm gonna be like, you can follow me on IG. Like, I don't really want you to see my Twitter because that's like personal, you know, and obviously it's like public, but it's like I'm more likely to give you my IG where it's just like pics of me and like updates of my day, very casual, low-key. Whereas on Twitter, it's like really where the true personality comes out to shine, you know? So I feel like the people I follow on IG, and also a lot of people don't have Twitter, which I think is so weird because I'm like, you're literally just seeing all this old content on IG. Like all the memes, all those little text memes, those are all from Twitter, baby. Like people are like, I don't want to spend more time on my phone. And it's like, you would actually probably spend the same amount of time because you just wouldn't be spending all that time on this app. Instead it'd be fresh ones. I don't know. Yeah, so it's, I guess, point of me saying this was it's been interesting to see people's stories of, like, people who I don't follow on Instagram. And, like, some people are just funny, and it's like, I don't care to follow them on IG, like. And also, my IG hasn't updated yet with a little shopping thing, but they just really keep getting worse and worse. And I feel like I talked about this, but I saw this TikTok. Again, I feel like I've talked about it. Yeah, mine hasn't updated. Hopefully it never does. Where the guy was like, this is the golden age of TikTok because it hasn't been monetized in the way that like Facebook was and YouTube was, I think in like 2016, 2017, and what Instagram now is, you know, it's just like so, it's like they find out how they can make money and that's what it becomes about. Like it's not as much about, you know, creativity and like the user's experience. Is just like, how can we sell people more stuff? Fuck Instagram, honestly. Like, they've really just been making it worse and worse. Again, I'm really trying to remember, like, what used to be fun about it. And obviously, personally, I still enjoy, like, taking a photo and editing a photo and posting a photo. But that's not Instagram. That's, like, that's separate. I could use any platform, you know? But I'm like, did I used to really spend that much time? Like, I was really watching a lot of people's stories? Like, I just can't remember. But it's like, obviously I did if I notice a change. Again, I don't know if it's like Instagram just, I know it is Instagram. Instagram's algorithm and how they don't show people. It's like, on one hand, yeah, it makes sense for the people I view the most or interact with the most to show up first in like stories or whatever. But then I'm only ever going to watch those people because I'm going to forget who I follow. I literally be like, how do I follow like 200 people? I swear I watch 4 people's stories. Y'all hear that? So, yeah. You know, I know I talk about it. I went to that little Instagram presentation in 2017 when I think they changed the algorithm. And people started getting way less likes and it was way harder to get followers after that. And I went to that little thing because I was with the YouTube network and they were like, we're going to have Instagram come give a presentation if you guys want to come. So I went because I was like, what the fuck is the tea? And after that, I really wanted to believe, you know, like, okay, you just have to work with it because they were saying, you know, we have all these new features. That was around the time when they first did like how you could post longer videos on Instagram, not reels obviously, but like just when you spit the longer videos. And they're like, the more you go live or use stories or post longer videos, like the more you're going to be seen because you're using all of the features. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, you know, okay, we don't need to go back to chronological order, okay, like I'll try. And it's just literally gotten worse and worse. Like, bitch, y'all are not invincible, you know. MySpace ended. I feel like Snapchat ended, honestly. Like, I mostly use it for, let me know if you can relate. I mostly use it for my own personal memories. And then I feel like I have a large male audience on Snapchat, so I'll use it to promote my OnlyFans. But that's pretty much it. Like, I would use it for the 1 year ago today. Like, I'm not using it as really a social media platform. So it's just like greed. The greed of these companies, and, you know, they just want to make more money. They don't care about people. It's like, are you guys stupid? Oh my god, so annoying. Yeah, so that's interesting. I miss the old days, bro. I miss when it was so lit. Like, I miss the old YouTube algorithm. I swear it was like 2016. But remember, like, a video would go kind of viral on YouTube, and like it would be in everyone's recommended, and all the comments would be like, I came here because it was in my recommended. And I know it's kind of like that now, but it's like not the same. Like, it was just like different back then. Like, if you got a video in that algorithm, it would be popping. And like clickbait. Like, I don't miss the clickbait days, but I kind of do. Like, I made so many titles, like, I send nudes, and I didn't get demonetized. Like, it was just like free range. And they're like, we need to be more advertiser friendly, so you cannot be a little whore. So let me know what you think of, let me know if you have Twitter. What is your favorite social media, honestly? And what do you think of fleets? What do you think is going to happen with Instagram? I'm really curious to see for myself, because I feel like it really is just like the top creators are going to be fine, and everyone else, they're like, fuck you, because you're not bringing us enough. It's like, I feel like I really just use IG for the tea. Like, obviously connecting with y'all, because, you know, posting on my story, like, I genuinely do enjoy that because we can have little conversations throughout the day. So that, and then like tea, like bros replying to my story. I feel like there's no way for me to meet guys on Instagram these days, because my explore page is like nails and celebrities and like, what else? Cooking, like pets. Like, I don't, like, how, it just used to be so different. And then like brand deals, but it's like, those aren't even like really that buzzing. So I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, we'll see what happens next. Let me know what you think. It's very interesting. So I'm gonna be on TikTok, y'all. See you. They be cute ass bros. There just be cute people on TikTok. Like damn, like, dude, same with Twitter. This is just like turning into a stream of consciousness. But I remember, like, I used to just be following like bros. Like, I would be chatting to just like random bros on Twitter. Like, we'd follow each other, we would like DM, and now it's like, I don't know, maybe that's just like a personal thing. But what else was I gonna talk about? Oh, does no one else experience pandemic anxiety anymore? Because I know people on Twitter do, but then I go over to IG and everyone's just going out. Like, there's extremes, like people at parties, people at the club, bitch. But then there's just like, you know, I saw someone out to drinks like a few times throughout the week, and then they're like back home with their family, like went to travel back home. And I'm just like, that kind of like gives me anxiety. And I think over the summer, for me, I was kind of like more chill about it, because it just seemed like, okay, like we've gotten over, like it's summertime now, we've gotten over that like winter, like flu season, like, because that's kind of when it started, you know. But now I just feel like everything I hear, like it's literally back to March when they were like, we are urging you to stay home. Like, and I feel like over the summer it was like, just kind of like, well, cases are rising, it's going to be bad in the fall, but do people just not care? Are y'all not reading the same shit that I'm reading every day? Y'all don't follow LA Times on Twitter? It's just annoying to me. Because it's like, I'm not, like... Bro, I don't want to keep doing this, you know? So just, everyone stop. And I feel like people think like, oh, well, I haven't gotten it yet, so it must not be real. It's like, why do you think cases are going up? I don't know. I just feel like I care. Like, I care about how my actions affect other people, and like, I'm gonna think about that, and like, going to a party or like out isn't worth it to me. First of all, just for that stress and anxiety, because even if like it was all fine, I would still be fucking stressed out and like anxious, like, oh my god, I shouldn't be here, like this is so bad, like. But then also just like, what if you got sick, or what if like you got other people sick? Like, it's like, yeah, shit's not gonna be real until it is real. Yeah, I just know for me, like, I know something will be affecting me when that's what I am thinking about before I go to sleep, or like when I'm trying to go to sleep. Because like throughout the day, it's like I'm in my house most of the time. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm just, you know, I'm keeping to myself, so I'm not really thinking about it. Obviously, I see it on my phone and stuff, but I'm just like, okay, well, I'm in the house by myself. Like, I'm doing what I have to do. But then it's like, I start stressing about it. You know, when you just let your mind wander, you're trying to go to sleep. And it's just different. Like, it's like anxiety. So let me know how you feel. Like, it's just like, I know we've talked about it. I talk about it in every episode of this podcast, but I'm just very curious to see what happens next year. I was thinking about that because I guess kind of a subject topic change, or should we say transition. But I decided to rewatch Insecure because it's one of my favorites. And I don't think I've ever rewatched it. Probably because I've always watched it, I think, like when it's on. So, you know, you have to wait. So I've never like binged it or anything. But I was like, you know, let me rewatch this because I think it started in 2017. And I have just personally gone through like so much since then, and had, you know, those are just prime years of like your first, like for me, I was fucking 18, 19 in 2017. I turned 19 in 2017. So it's just been a lot of self-growth. So I'm like excited to rewatch it and see what I didn't pick up on the first time, but then also like what I relate to now, just having these few more years of experience. So like I'm watching these first couple episodes. I restarted it last night, season 1, and just thinking about, you know, the last season that came on. Was that this year? I think so. Was it season 4? I think it was this year. This year has been a blur, honestly. But just thinking about like, wow, like they didn't even know what was about to happen to them, or like, wow, just like, you know, because it's like if you know what happens, then it's like it kind of makes more sense from the beginning because you understand the dynamics. So then I was kind of applying that to like my own life. Like, where am I going to be in a year? Like, I honestly don't know. And then just thinking in general, like, what's going to happen? And like, you can think of that in a pandemic sense, in a new president sense, in a more worldview, like current events sense, but then also just like in general, that kind of excites me because it's like, for me, I always think of like, who's going to be my next crush, or like, who am I going to be friends with that I haven't met yet? And just that possibility, or that feeling of like there's opportunities out there. And by opportunities, I mean like opportunities for love or happiness or like tea. And it's like, we don't even know yet. So it's kind of exciting. And if, like, y'all know I love a memory and I love a reflection. But if you think, like, bitch, a year ago, we did not know we would be here. But then, like, it's like, I never thought I would have met this person or whatever. Shout out to Banana Dougie. Love him. But I was tweeting on my burner, like, I have no hoes and no bays these days. Like, damn. And he replied to my tweet and was like, same. And said something like, it's like a couple boring episodes of a show, but you just have to stick with it because it's going to be worth it. And I was like, that is like the perfect analogy, because, you know, like sometimes it's like, okay, move it along, but you can't always have, not every episode is going to be the best, the most riveting. Like sometimes you just need a filler episode, or you just need to like have some self-growth time. Oh my God, sometimes it's just so boring, but... I was talking about this in my vlog, but something I have kind of realized, or I guess like been thinking about, because I feel like I've had this realization, and sometimes it's just like I have to live through it to remember it, but just that saying, like, wherever you go, there you are. And you can take that with like physical setting, like, oh, I wish I could travel here, but it's like you're still gonna be you there. You're just gonna have your same problems, just you're gonna be somewhere else. But just that sense, or that, just the fact that life is still going to be life, no matter where you are, no matter what stage of life you're at. You could have your dream life, your dream career, your dream relationship, everything perfect, and you're still going to have emotions, and you're still going to be human, and you're still going to be annoyed sometimes, and people are going to piss you off sometimes, or whatever. So it's kind of like, you could think of that as like a sad, depressing thing, but it's also just like, then I'm gonna accept this moment for this moment. I think I tweeted this too, but I am already fucking romanticizing this past summer. I didn't really do shit, you know, like, oh my God, like, that was so fun, like, aw. And like, I was thinking of this one day where I like slept over at Bidney's, and then we like got breakfast, and I was just like I basically hung out with my friends for like 2 full days straight. And I was just like in the moment, you're not thinking about it. Like, I was just like, yeah, whatever, like, let's go get food, let's like do this, whatever. I'm fucking tired, I'm hungover, like, oh my God. But it's like in the moment, you don't realize that that's gonna be something that you're gonna look back on and be like, oh. So then I was like, bitch, like, I have been feeling so like bored sometimes, and like lonely, and just like in my house, and just like I'm wasting my life. Then I was like, you know, we're gonna get out of this, and I'm gonna think back to this time as like I was fucking doing my thing, realizing stuff about myself. And, you know, I even know, like, when I go back home, I will be so excited to see my family, and then it's like, after a few days, it's like, I kind of miss having my own bathroom. And it's like, no tea, no shade, no beef. But I'm just like, damn, I'm missing my own bathroom. And then I'm here just having my own bathroom for granted, you know? Just like everything. That's why it's always like, come back to the moment, because everything will be put into perspective at some point. So might as well enjoy it while it's here. Like, obviously it's valid to feel lonely or to feel bored. That's not to say like, don't feel those things. Like, you should be grateful all the time. You should just be bursting with gratitude all the time. But, you know, you can have the emotion, but you don't have to think yourself into this like hole. Like, you can be like, okay, let me feel this, but take a step back. It's like, okay. Or like, literally, if I'm like, I'm lonely, sometimes, you know, someone will be here and you just want them to leave, and it's like, oh my God, I just want to be alone so much. You gotta appreciate what you have while it's here, because everything passes. Fuck. I saw this TikTok. This guy, I feel like he was Irish or something. I don't remember, but he had an accent. I just don't remember. And he had this like wall calendar, and he was like, the average person lives for 88 years, I think. So that's however many weeks. And it was just like this thing where you color in a circle for each week of your life, and it's supposed to represent your whole life, so you can like see how much time you have left, basically, like assuming you die at the average age that people die at. And I was like, that's kind of like depressing, but that's kind of cool, because I feel like a lot of the times weeks just fly past, and it's like, we just gotta be chilling. It's like, sometimes there's nothing else to do, especially these days, but it's like, you gotta put everything in perspective. Yeah. I feel like I need to sneeze. Oh, but let me know if you've ever thought about that. Like, time just be flying, y'all. Damn. This coffee is so good, by the way. It's a coffee I was making, I think, 2 vlogs ago, but where I add my sugar-free vanilla and pumpkin spice blend and oat milk, and I add it to the hot coffee, and it's just like so good. It's hot as fuck today, though. Like, 2 days ago, yesterday, and today, it's all been hot. And I know I'm wearing this, but I'm not wearing pants. I just wanted it to be like cozy hours. Even that, it's like, okay, and then it was cold, and I was like, oh, I'm so cold when I get out of the shower. Like, there's always something to complain about, which, you know, it's okay to complain sometimes, but, you know, let me appreciate this while it's here. Someone asked me to talk about fast fashion, so I just wanted to share my thoughts because I recently did this little haul and someone asked me to. You know, there's always going to be those people that comment on a haul like you should be only supporting ethical brands, sustainable brands, etc. And I do agree that obviously that should always be the first pick, or like a thrift store. But the thing is, a lot of sustainable brands, or a lot of like everything is ethically sourced and handmade brands, a lot of them are very expensive. And especially with the thrift store, you can't always find what you need. I feel like do that when you can, but I don't want to say there's no harm in, because obviously, bitch, first of all, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, period. Like, that's just a fact. But I think if you want to, you know, make a little fast fashion online shopping order a couple times a year, if you're taking care of your clothes and you're not buying something that you're going to wear once and then want to buy something else, it's like there is choosing brands or websites or whatever that are, you know, from better source materials or ethical labor or whatever. And then there's also your own spending habits and just like how often are you buying clothes? How often do you feel like you need to support this brand, whatever. So I feel like it's like 2 separate things. It's very easy to like feel guilty for literally every decision you have ever made. But I think as long as you're like educating yourself, and like sometimes it's like bitches just want a trendy little outfit. And also bitches are influenced by the environment in which they grew up in, which promotes like this, you know, look at all these celebrities promoting their just hoarding lifestyles. I need a new bag. I have a whole closet just full of my bags. I need 10 luxury cars and another one on the way. I am gonna post every time I get one to make you all look at it and be jealous. For yourself, like if you do want to buy something, like ask yourself, can I buy this from a different brand? Can I find this at a thrift store? Is this something I actually need? I feel like I'm the type of person, y'all know I'm the type of person to not really buy new shit that much. Like I'll do a haul here and there, like, but y'all see me wearing the same shit like all the time. Again, it's about everything. Your own personal like spending habits, shopping habits. Are you really thinking about, do you need this? Am I buying clothes every week, every month? Like, can I reduce that? And then also like what brands you're supporting. And is there an alternative? So let me know what you think. Yeah. Very interesting. And then there was the whole thing also of like, I forget where, I feel like I read an article just about how, you know, thrift shops in the past however many years have kind of become a little gentrified because of all these little fashion people like buying everything up. So then the people who, that's one of their main places to go to shop because it's affordable, then, you know, the prices are up or there's just way less stuff. So it's kind of like, you need to think about everything. I just feel like a lot of people, and that's not to say, I'm not like, oh, if you ever said don't support fast fashion, you're one of these people. But I feel like a lot of the time people just like don't really look at all sides to something. And they just want to like blame and like, oh, well, you, like I read about this, so now I want to show that I know something. So I'm just going to like call someone out on Twitter. And it's like, relax. which kind of gets me into my next point. Generation Z is so sensitive. I feel like I hear this all the time, and I'm not gonna say I agree. I do think there is sometimes, for me, it's like people who don't use their brain and just like do y'all remember my huge controversy where my friends were like making s'mores in a vlog and the marshmallows, like, what, it wasn't a vegan brand or something, so everyone was like, Stella Ray is lying about being vegan, and it was like I wasn't even eating it in the vlog or something. Like, it was something so dumb like that, and it's like, you're saying, like, she supports killing animals, and it's like, did you even watch it? Did you have even like proof of this? Like, when people are just automatically jumping to conclusions and not thinking something all the way through, and like, you know, this cancel culture thing where like people just want to make assumptions, like, I think that is just like dumb as fuck. Like, I'm never gonna be one to like tweet something or comment on someone's post like, oh, so you just agree that we should just kill animals? And that's just like obviously an example, but you can apply that to so much. But I will say that sometimes people say Generation Z, or, you know, oh, this generation is so sensitive, you can't say anything anymore. But it's like if you're making like a transphobic joke or like a rape joke or something, it's like, that's not funny. Just because you grew up in a way where that was okay doesn't mean that it's okay. And I think it just goes back to the classic saying, everything is a scam, and a lot of the things that are taught to us, they were just taught to us. It's just an idea. It's someone's idea, and we've just gone with it for however many years. Like, this idea of like gender, or, you know, boys have to act this way, girls have to act this way. There are only boys and there are only girls. There is nothing else. It's like, you think that anything else that's not that is like weird, or like you're scared of it, or you want to make fun of it or make a joke out of it, just because it's like new to you, and like you were taught growing up that there's this and there's this and that's it. So it's like, again, use your fucking brain. And like, just because something is different to you doesn't mean that like it's okay to make fun of it and like bully people. Because a lot of these topics that it's like, oh, so sensitive, wow, I can't be racist anymore, I can't be misogynistic in public anymore. Like, that's just, what the heck? I miss the old days when you could just like say whatever you want and make fun of everyone. It's like, it's usually always about minorities or, you know, like oppressed groups. So it's like, why would you even want? It's like, this is still an ongoing issue. Why would you? It's like, this isn't joke time. If you want to make fun of a group of people, make fun of like Chads. Chads are not oppressed, okay? Like, so I just feel like a lot of stuff just genuinely isn't funny, or like isn't, it's like, are we being too sensitive, or are we just like not amused by stuff that isn't funny? You know, it's like Generation Z, or like this generation or whatever, because of social media. Y'all know, I've talked about it. I wrote a paper junior, senior year, just about like social media and how, I feel like I talk about this all the time. It's my last academic success. But just how, you know, a lot more information is accessible to us now. So it's not like we're relying on these old ass textbooks only, and like only what the people in our hometown know, and only what the news tells us, or what the radio tells us, or the newspaper, or whatever, what TV tells us. It's like, we can hear from so many different perspectives, and so many people are allowed to like be fully themselves online, and we can see it. It's like, you don't have to know someone in your immediate circle or your city. You can be exposed to a lot more ideas and like just different types of people than maybe you grew up with or are familiar with. I didn't know this was an issue. Now I know, and I have like someone telling me their firsthand experience, whether it's like me or they're just posting about it or whatever. And it's like, oh, like I shouldn't make fun of that, or like, oh, this is actually a real issue, or like, I didn't know about this before, you know? And it's like, before the internet, you would actually have to like go meet someone. You have to like get out of your hometown and like go learn. So I just feel like it's made people a lot more open-minded, because it's like we kind of grew up with the internet. So I feel like that's why. So it's like, obviously, like I said in the beginning, there are people in general, Gen Z or whoever, who are just like jumping to conclusions. And I hate that internet bullshit and how like the fucking shade room will put like just like try to start tea and try to start bullying basically and like jumping to conclusions. Like Twitter can just be so awful when it comes to that. But then I feel like there's some stuff where it's just, it's like, we're not actually being too sensitive. It's just like, it's not like a joke, or it's not funny, or it's like society has progressed past stuff that's not funny. Real issues. So let me know if you can relate, because I feel like that's such a topic these days. Oh my god, I can't make any jokes. Like, it's like, maybe you're just not funny. But then again, people be jumping to conclusions, and that is so irritating. So I agree with like that. But yeah. Anyway, I feel like that's kind of all I have to say. Yeah, I feel like kind of all over the place. But, you know, Mars is direct now, and there was a new moon, and I feel like hopefully new vibes coming to you soon. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this day, do some editing, I finished my coffee. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read all your comments down below. Again, tweet me or IG story me, fleet me a screenshot. I don't think you can, like, tag people yet, but hopefully soon. So I can retweet, repost, all of that, and I will see you guys in the next podcast. Bye, y'all.